what I feel like every show that I've seen is that the energy when it comes to the show is palpable. Like
you know why? Is because when they're backstage, they are having a blast. They're actually feathers.
this is beautiful.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
El Pato, that's what the collection is called.
Nice. Okay.
Which is El Pato, which means duck or like swan.
Right.
But it is also a derogatory like slur, specifically in Puerto Rican culture. I'm Dominican, but I grew up around a lot of Puerto Ricans, and like, you know, they used to be like, El Pato, that's what they used to call me. So it's kind of like me reclaiming it and kind of being like, all right, y'all wanna think that I haven't been there before, and y'all gonna put me in the closet again. I'm reclaiming my time again and letting y'all know I ain't going nowhere. I feel like dissecting shows have kind of went out the window. And I think with my shows, it's, I wanna immerse you and you figure it out. You tell me what it is. You know what it is? What is it you see? What is it that you wanna say about it? Like, it doesn't have to be about me. You're creating the characters as you go because you're reading it. So read this. These are just stories in my book. So why don't you read it and create your own narrative of what it is, you know? And if you know I'm a true New Yorker, then dive into that. Dive into that story. What is it that you think you're seeing when you see this? Why did I pick the soundtrack? Why these models? Why is it that the clothing look like this? Or why did I use these details, these textures, these like, I don't know. It's just, for me, it's more about that.
I'm interpreting as like taking these elements of kind of like gayness, which is like bling, feathers, drama, like all the elegance and like pageantry, and then making it like a little scary. So like you do not want to like mess with the person who wears this. And so it's like bringing in these like old like drag queen tricks and then kind of like combining them with like a beautiful like merino wool set, but it like has a shiesty that zips all the way up, and you pair it with thigh-high boots, and it's like Raul and Kyle build that world so well. And it's like, honestly, it's like the most fun when we get to do stuff like this.
I've been at Luar for 3 years, 6 seasons. It feels like a lifetime. Yeah, I mean, it's changed my life for sure. You know, people say like you work with your family, and like a lot of times it sounds like cliche, but we are all very, very, very close. And while it is a job, there's a lot of that overlap naturally, like through our lives and outside work moments that we share together, and friends that overlap, and worlds that kind of like collide. So yeah, there's a lot of that it weaves in and out.
How is it to kind of build community when you're first starting out? Like, was it essential to you?
No, actually it wasn't essential to me because it is me.
Yeah.
I don't need to build community. Mm-hmm. I come from community.
Right.
I am community. That's what community comes to me, and why I go to them is like that whole thing from this industry and like the whole like building community and like queerness and the whole thing. I'm like, I don't need to do that. Mm-hmm. I didn't have to do that. I was that. I knew walking out my house that I was a brown boy, that I was gay, that I was this, that I was that. All the boxes they're checking off now, I've been doing since I was a kid. I didn't have to wait for BLM to come around and all these like movements to realize that I was a Dominican boy who has Afro roots, who has Latino roots, who has indigenous roots, who has all these roots. I lived that. I always been around that life. So this is not new to me. I didn't have to like create this world. The world was created already. When I walked into it, I was already in it, you know? I knew what I was looking in the mirror. I already had the strikes on my back when I wake up every morning. I didn't have to wait for the internet and everybody to tell me, oh, it's time to wake up. I'm an alarm clock. I've been woke.